Hello everybody, Jediwarlock here and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we are returning to the world of Azeroth for the official start of a series that I've been wanting to make for a long time now. With Wrath of the Lich King in full swing, there has been a lot of attention put on what is coming next. Will this be the end of Classic as we know it? Will Deathwing the Destroyer make a world-breaking return in some sort of Cataclysm Classic? Or will the fall of the Lich King be the beginning of a new age of Warcraft? I believe myself, along with countless others, have made it clear a new experience, a new timeline, is what Classic needs if it is to survive. This idea is known as Classic Plus, or additions to WoW Classic that hold true to the original themes, story, and world of the game. I have some big ideas for what this could look like, and I know you all do as well. So as we go through this series, I'm curious to hear your thoughts and feedback. In this first episode, I want to outline what exactly I mean by Classic Plus and give a brief introduction to my central ideas, but in the future I'll be doing deep dives on everything from world changes to new races and classes to everything in between. I also want to acknowledge that these are just my personal ideas. I know people might feel differently, and that is totally okay. But I feel that drawing attention to these concepts is important and helpful when we as a community make a push for Blizzard to make positive changes to WoW. So, with all that being said, let's get right into it and dare to imagine a new World of Warcraft. When talking about Classic Plus, most WoW players think one of two things. One, an update after Vanilla WoW that splits away from Burning Crusade, or two, an update after Wrath of the Lich King that splits away from Cataclysm. If you saw my little teaser trailer I made a few weeks back, you'll know that I personally fall into the second category. I am a huge fan of the original trilogy of WoW, and seeing as Wrath is where the majority of classic WoW fans are at right now, I think it makes more sense to plan for a future of the game that splits off from this point. As a reassurance for those of you who fall into the first group, a lot of my ideas still apply to the 1 to 60 vanilla content as well, so keeping Burning Crusade and Wrath in the mix isn't going to change things up too much. I think this approach would also satisfy a greater portion of the player base. See, the transition from Wrath to Cata marked the beginning of what is essentially the retail era. Cata to the present day exists as a single series of content without any major shakeups like what happened at the end of Wrath. With that being said, Cata still exists intact as content in retail, meaning that if Classic players didn't want to roll forward into a Classic Plus environment, they could be given the choice to move or copy their characters onto a retail server. A rather poetic ending to this chapter of Classic, with the heroes of Northrend rejoining their modern-day counterparts. Something similar has happened between the permanent vanilla servers and the TBC and Wrath servers, so we know Blizzard has the technology to make this transition work. But for those who seek the unknown, the uncharted, a different road awaits. The road to Classic Plus. When I set out to make this alternate journey, there are a few goals that I had in mind. These objectives serve as the guidelines for this project, and whether the ideas I present come from me, someone I've talked with, or some of you in the comments, I'm basically using these rules, subjective as they may be, to decide if something is a good fit. Of my three objectives, the first is arguably the most important. 1. Classic Plus preserves the old world of Azeroth, including its landscape, story, and design, whenever possible. This is one of the major reasons why players want Classic Plus. Cataclysm removed a lot of the vanilla quests and locations, and with them, removed, in my opinion, that original feel of the game. Keeping more of the world intact would maintain that charm and nostalgia found in the original trilogy of expansions. When it comes to lore, I plan on drawing from the classic game itself, the lore from Warcraft 3 and before, and the RPG book lore, which in my opinion aligns much more with Classic than the modern lore or something like the WoW Chronicle books. 2. Classic Plus adds meaningful content that builds on the old world and resolves unfinished world or story elements. It's no secret that Classic WoW, while incredible, does have unfinished quests, zones, and story elements. The Azshara Pirates, the first half of the Aranicus questline, Morrowgrain, the list goes on. While not everything needs to be tied up nice and neat, Classic Plus presents an opportunity to build new content for the world while polishing some of the older material that never quite got a satisfying ending. This guideline is really broad in terms of what content could be added, from simple quests to entire zones and raids. And trust me, all these different categories will get their time to shine, including both horizontal and vertical developments for the game. A final note in this category is that I'm not going to completely discredit everything in Cataclysm and beyond, and I want to honor some of the cool additions to the game while adapting them for a classic setting. 3. Classic Plus modernizes gameplay mechanics while building sustainable systems across all content levels. I included this guideline because, while Classic Plus should adhere to the feel of the game and its world, there are certainly upgrades that can and should be made to improve the health of the game. Additionally, this objective touches on something that I think is very important when talking about Classic as a game. In retail, systems are bloated, overprevalent, and inconsistent across expansions and sometimes even patches. Classic Plus could take the game in a different direction by iterating on existing systems and maybe adding a few new ones across all levels so that they can cater to a broader audience, not just those who have reached max level. The end mission of all three of these objectives is to create a consistent game with an iconic but expanded world that fulfills the classic vision for Warcraft. I'll be going more in depth on the content and changes to the game in future episodes, but I wanted to first establish the baseline of where I was coming from when developing these ideas. In my opinion, the next logical step is to establish the broad narrative that's going to be central to our next expansion after Wrath of the Lich King. While there are countless directions we could choose to go with the future of the game, I'm deciding to go with one that seems to be a bit of a fan favorite, as well as one that is realistic considering the absence of Cataclysm. In a world where the Shattering doesn't happen, what's going to happen on Azeroth? That question is central to my ideas around Classic Plus, and I hope you're as excited as I am to see what we come up with. I'm going to take a bit of a cinematic approach with the expansion name reveal, so I won't give it away here, but look forward to that in the next couple of days. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment down below with your thoughts and ideas for Classic Plus, subscribe if you're new to join the Jedi Order, and until next time, may the Force be with you.